Ted worth the price of admission? Let me ask you this. Do you like Seth MacFarlane? Do you like cutaways? Do you like edgy comedies? Do you love references to old movies from the 80s? If you said yes to any or all of these, then ultimately the answer is yes. Absolutely. While walking into this movie, I expected it a lot to be like Drop Dead Fred, which has a similar-ish premise. What I got was definitely not Drop Dead Fred. This film had a personality of its own that had Seth MacFarlane's brand of humor written all over it. If you're familiar with Family Guy, which I guarantee most of you are, then you will immediately recognize his iconic cutaways that do show up in the movie, though not as prominent as it is in Family Guy. Although it is, at times, hard to try to separate the movie and the show as two separate entities. Another thing that is very prominent in this movie is pretty explicit content. This film, to say the least, is pretty crude. And there was an occasional joke or two that made me feel slightly uncomfortable. After all, a 9/11 joke can only be funny the first time. Regardless, this movie still had childish charm to it that would make any adult swoon over their own childhood. There were a lot of references that are beyond my own years, but for anyone in their 30s, all these references were a true delight, particularly the Flash Gordon ones. So, is this worth the price of admission? For me, I would definitely say that it was. The movie had a lot of charm and character, and I would definitely think that it would be worth your time. Okay, so, Ted.
Ted, I didn't think I would like it.
I was convincing myself, I think, before the movie started that I wasn't gonna like it, just because I don't like Seth MacFarlane. And I'm really tired of Family Guy, and I'm really sick of it. So when Ted came out, I was like, oh God, more Seth MacFarlane. I'm really not going to enjoy any of this at all. And I did enjoy it.
I think if they hadn't had the exposition with him as the little kid, I don't know if I would have enjoyed it as much if they had just jumped into the teddy bear story.
Well, you can't just, you needed that. I mean, the beginning was really set up the entire movie, and you were pretty much okay with everything, you know? It was really funny.
I think the only reason I would have disliked it was the assumptions I went into it with, like that we would just be okay with the teddy bear talking like the dog in Family Guy.
Yeah.
But I liked that they covered their bases, and Alex Borstein was in there, a couple other Family Guy friends.
The only thing I'd really have to say is that I think I would have enjoyed it more if Seth MacFarlane didn't do the voice of the bear.
I agree.
Probably would have been better. But all in all, it was pretty funny, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will enjoy it.
He did poke fun at himself for doing it. He was like, oh, I don't sound that much like Peter Griffin. I laughed at that.
That was a good joke.
That's fine.
All right. So if you wish for one of your childhood toys to come to life, what would you choose? All right, make a comment below to delight us with your answers. And don't forget to check out our other magniloquent reviews at youtube.com/thepriceofadmission.